Right. That's a very good question. So you'll see, Dimple, when we are children and when we are kids, we get fascinated by anything and everything, and we get a lot of questions, and we want to try everything. Even if you will see, is there if there is any sports or anything, generally the sports coaches and everybody suggests that let your child try everything till the age of this, and after this you will know where he is, what is his expertise or what is his strength or where he's doing well. Similarly, I think, however, this is a very debatable topic and very controversial one. However, I think even children should be given that freedom to follow anything and everything, because they are kids. They should just enjoy the best parts of life. Like, for example, when a kid, he's not bothered about the worries of the house. He enjoys the happiness. He's more focused on when are the birthdays, when is the celebration, when is the outing, when is the movie night, when is the dinner night. He's not bothered about where is the budget, where is the earning, where is the cost cutting. Similarly, in religion also, there is the easy part and the tough part. I think children should be more exposed to the good things, to more happy things, more exciting things, and because that's the best way to start teaching them. However, once they are getting exposure to every religion, see how this is happening, why Christians are doing this, why Muslims are doing this, why Jainis are doing this, why Hindus are doing this, and if they are explained in a simpler language about the motive. Oh, see, this is for a healthy lifestyle, this is for a healthy body, this is for a healthy soul, this is for peace of your mind. So if we can explain every steps or everything that people follow to them, and just show them the goal, that what why it is done, to achieve what. Because generally in childhood, we are just told, do this, do this worshipping, do this fasting, but a lot of times we are not told why. So if we can start telling them the why and we showing them the path, I think at a certain age they themselves will evolve. They will make their own perspective out of all this knowledge. They will make their own summary, and then they will be in a very good situation to choose, and they will be less confused. They will have less feeling of changing anything later or something, because they have got all the answers in the beginning. They have got the set their base right.
And I think it's absolutely required. What you said is correct because the world today is global. We are moving towards a more global world. The kids of today are going to be global citizens. The environment is going to be much more diverse. Previously, the society could restrict itself to a certain community only, but that's not the case anymore. And definitely, the future requires more of mixing, more of diversity. So I think what you're saying makes total sense that kids need to be exposed to all kinds of religion and explained to about why we are doing what we are doing.
Right. Absolutely right.
Welcome to this episode of Our Quest. This is Dimple Mehta, and today we would talk about how parents can teach kids to respect all religions and cultures. Joining us for this amazing discussion is Rupa Jha, who is the founder of Black Swan Business Setup Services, UAE, enlightening us with this knowledge. An incredibly interesting lady who is raising her lovely son, teaching him values of multiple religions and cultures. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the show so that you don't have to miss out on any episode. I am extremely grateful to you for taking out the time to listen to these podcasts, and I hope this episode further contributes towards your growth. If you liked the episode, give us a quick rating or review on Apple Podcasts. That helps the episode organically reach more people who might find it useful and beneficial. Welcome to the show, Rupa.
How are you feeling?
I'm doing great, and I'm feeling really excited being here with you, Dimple.
Pleasure is all mine. So before I start shooting questions at you, let us know about your journey, your story.
Well, my story, I'm Rupa Jha, and I am from a small city in West Bengal. And I started my career there from call centers. And today I'm here in Dubai running a team of 40 people. This whole journey for last 10-15 years has been very excited and full of adventures and roller coasters. I have an amazing husband, Azhar. So we both are from different cultures, but we are blending very well with each other's family. I have a small cute son, Adyan. He's 4 years old. The meaning of Adyan is followers of all deen in Arabic, like followers of all beliefs. So, and that is what we are trying to, teach Adyan in his life. So we're trying to make him grow up as a great human. That's what our aim is. And in general, I'm a very empathetic person. I believe my whole life revolves around empathy, and I believe empathy is the core of human being or humanity. And I believe in growth, because I believe whether it's any aspect of your life, as a mother, as an entrepreneur, as a wife, as a woman, I believe every day we need to grow. And obviously, to grow, you need to get knowledge, you need to meet people, you need experience. So my every day when I wake up and when I go to sleep, my only aim is, in the morning I see how can I grow, and in the evening I measure how much I've grown today.
That's
That's beautiful. And as beautiful as that is, I would also like our listeners to know that Rupa is extremely modest. She has beautifully simplified her journey, the adventurous roller coaster that it has been from West Bengal, India to where she is now in Dubai, UAE, and leading the industry as a mompreneur, as a womanpreneur, as an entrepreneur. It's amazing how she's carved a niche. So here's my first question. A lot of times people confuse religion with culture and culture with religion. So for the sake of our understanding, let's first understand what do we mean by culture and what do we mean by religion.
Sure, Dimple. What I believe is, nowadays, what for different people, religion has a different definition or an explanation. So, for example, a diet program or an exercise, everybody is using for a different purpose. Somebody is using to lose weight, somebody is using to gain strength, somebody is using to cure some particular disease or get mental balance, or somebody is just doing for fashion. So everybody has a different angle and different definition to it or purpose to it. Similarly, I think religion is a great tool which everybody is using for different things. For some people, it is a way of life, a way of healthy life. For some people, it is the solution to all mental problems, or any challenges, guilts, or to vent out
yeah, faith,
faith.
spirituality. Yeah.
Somewhere, for some, it's like just a way to lead something. They want to be leaders, and maybe religion is one great platform. For some people, it's just to do something which they are not supposed to, just on the name of it, to make it more look normal. Some people, it's the gateway to moksha, or to understand death, or to understand life, or to overcome the fear of death. So for everybody is using religion for a different purpose. But yes, now the main question is, as a woman, what do I feel about religion? So now there are two angles. One is what the society made me feel, and one is what I feel. So first I'll tell you what society made me feel. So at least the society from where I come from, I see that people think woman has no religion. They must follow the religion, either what their man in their life is following. Either it is their father, either it is their husband. So if the father is a Hindu, the obviously the girl should be Hindu. If the husband is a Muslim, the woman should be Muslim. So it's like they don't generally consider it. It's They take it as an obvious thing that the woman should practice what the man in her life is practicing. Now, I come from a family where I lost my father at a very early age. So we were a complete woman family, my mom, three of our sisters. And one thing that we experienced is that we gave freedom to each other to do whatever we want. That leap of faith, that freedom to believe what we want. And that changed our life, and that has changed our perspective. And touchwood, I got even a husband who is very liberal, and he believes in good karma and good deeds. So that's why I'm blessed. However, now what I feel as a woman about religion, I think religion is a study of law for life. So when I want to know, like for example, socially, when we want to know if stealing is wrong or right, we go by books. If murder is good or right, we go by books. So these law books are there to understand what's right, what's wrong, what should be avoided, and what should be punished. Similarly, when in life or inside us, when these questions comes in, where do we go to? Because our soul is very dynamic. Our souls can do anything. We can do a surgery and we can do a murder. So sometimes who will tell them what's the right thing to do and when what should be done? So I think religious is the right guidelines that our soul can follow to, because I think it is written by great people, whether it is any religious books, through their experience, through their enlightenments, and they every book has the same purpose. That's leading a happy life and making the world a better place. Maybe everybody is following different kind of rules. For example, there's so many life coaches. Somebody is following Gallup coaching, somebody is following NLP, somebody is following M brain. But if you will see, everybody's strategy is different, but everybody's goal is to make you a stronger person mentally, make your personal life better, make you grow in your career. That's the end goal of all the coaches, no
So
matter what strategy they're using. Exactly.
yeah, so the crux of all the coaches, or the crux of maybe all the religion, could be boiled down to the same thing. It's
Exactly.
just the different way it
Exactly.
is being portrayed.
Exactly. And I believe you follow what you believe in. For example, if you feel NLP is the right thing for you, you go by that. If you feel no, personality and Gallup training or M braining, whatever is whatever is more closer to your personality actually is what you choose, because that's easier for you to follow. So I think similarly that should be the same fundamental for religion as well. However, it's not like that. Generally, we tend to take it as an inheritance and we just follow what is inherited. That is also okay, not bad, because at least we get a anchor for our soul and for our life. That's not bad. However, when there are dilemmas, I think we should also be free to try other ways or try other methods to achieve the same purpose.
So, like you rightly said, that in most cases, religion is inherited by us from the family in which we are being raised. And most often, the kids are not even given the choice whether they want to practice that religion or not. It's simply imposed as a practice because the family practices it. Later in life, a lot of people question why they follow that religion that they follow, or sometimes they even convert to different religions, or sometimes they just don't want to follow any religion at all. So, as a parent, how do you think should parents teach kids about which religion to follow or not to follow?
Right. That's a very good question. So you'll see, Dimple, when we are children and when we are kids, we get fascinated by anything and everything, and we get a lot of questions, and we want to try everything. Even if you will see, is there if there is any sports or anything, generally the sports coaches and everybody suggests that let your child try everything till the age of this, and after this you will know where he is, what is his expertise or what is his strength or where he's doing well. Similarly, I think, however, this is a very debatable topic and very controversial one. However, I think even children should be given that freedom to follow anything and everything, because they are kids. They should just enjoy the best parts of life. Like, for example, when a kid, he's not bothered about the worries of the house. He enjoys the happiness. He's more focused on when are the birthdays, when is the celebration, when is the outing, when is the movie night, when is the dinner night. He's not bothered about where is the budget, where is the earning, where is the cost cutting. Similarly, in religion also, there is the easy part and the tough part. I think children should be more exposed to the good things, to more happy things, more exciting things, and because that's the best way to start teaching them. However, once they are getting exposure to every religion, see how this is happening, why Christians are doing this, why Muslims are doing this, why Jainis are doing this, why Hindus are doing this, and if they are explained in a simpler language about the motive. Oh, see, this is for a healthy lifestyle, this is for a healthy body, this is for a healthy soul, this is for peace of peace of your mind. So if we can explain every steps or everything that people follow to them, and just we show them the goal, that what why it is done, to achieve what. Because generally in childhood we are just told, do this, do this worshipping, do this fasting, but a lot of times we are not told why. So if we can start telling them the why and we showing them the path, I think at a certain age they themselves will evolve. They will make their own perspective out of all this knowledge, They will make their own summary, and then they will be in a very good situation to choose, and they will be less confused. They will have less feeling of changing anything later or something, because they have got all the answers in the beginning. They have got the set their base right.
I think what you're saying makes total sense because we are already living in a global world, and the world has become so small. Previously, it was possible to live within a certain community only, or uh, base your lifestyle based on a certain religion only. But now, where we interact freely in such a diverse environment, uh, I think you're very right to say that kids need to be exposed to all religions and explained about each of the religions. Coming back to the concept that you explained in the beginning about culture, a lot of times a lot of people confuse religion with culture and culture with religion because they're intertwined in many places. So, how do you think can parents explain culture to kids while raising the kids?
Right, that's a very good question, and there's a very thin line, and people sometimes confuse between culture and religion. So I think the best way to explain your kids, first of all, I'll tell you what I believe about culture. So I believe that culture is something when we celebrate our religion, when we celebrate what we believe, or we celebrate our faith. I think that becomes our culture. For example, if I believe in fitness, then I'm making a daily routine to celebrate it. Maybe I'm getting the best gym clothes, going to the gym in the morning, having protein shakes, going for a marathon. So we are together with a lot of people. I'm celebrating fitness every day in a very consistent manner. I think this consistency of following certain rules uh, is what culture is.
Eventually becomes culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if I will say that your religion is fitness and your culture is going to the gym, or drinking more water, or going for a healthy diet. So similarly, the best way of following a religion is, like, for example, school. We study so much things: physics, chemistry, maths. The end goal is learning. That can be done under the sun, under the tree. It can be done anywhere, stay sitting at home. However, we build a culture that, okay, this is the school, this time you need to reach, you need to wear a uniform, you need to bring your, this is your tiffin break, there will be monthly reports, there will be weekly assessments. So we are creating a culture. We all meet and we do prayers. So because to give them that learning, we start showing them small small implementations in a consistent way on a daily basis. I think that becomes a culture. So I think in every religion they are following the religion in a, by doing, celebrating it consistently in a certain manner.
Correct. And I think even the smaller things can form culture because every culture is a way of expression, like what you wear, what you eat, the festivities you celebrate. I mean, if you go to travel to any country, the way you analyze the country's culture is based on how the people over there are dressing up, how the people over there are eating, how they are dancing, what's their art form. I think all of these form culture.
Absolutely, exactly. So that is what, like, for example, if somebody is, if any religion is preaching them to, let's say, for example, uh, cover your body as a, let's say, and then we, our traditional clothes are based on that. If some tradition is teaching to be colorful, to be green, to be, they're always, even what the dress we wear in our culture, the food that we eat, everything, ultimately it is, somewhere based on the religion. There's something that that religion is trying to tell you. Is, for example, either it's covering up, again, it's like, let's not be body conscious, be soul conscious. Even wearing independent clothes, even that's like not being body conscious, being soul conscious. So maybe everybody's trying to teach you in different ways. Everybody's trying the best of their methods to send a message. So culture is a way to show that yes, we are following and we are loving it. So that's why they celebrate, they turn it into a celebration, they turn it into a practice. uh,
And the society is structured.
exactly. And also it is something that a lot of people do together, so it becomes more interesting, it makes you more light.
A way
Yeah,
of bonding, connecting.
exactly. So it makes it keep makes the religion look like interesting. Sometimes it can get boring following certain things. So I think when you are following a culture and you are following certain things, you feel more involved in it,
Yeah, it's fun for some. Yeah, for some days it's
bringing the fun element
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in learning.
It's beautiful what you explained, and it's respectable that you have such an open mind about religion and culture, and that's why you can inculcate those values in raising your kids. And every other parent who has an open mind about religion and culture can teach their kids to respect all religions and cultures. But there's another place where kids learn a lot and get influenced a lot. These are the places of learning, the schools or the institutes or the universities, wherever they are educated and they learn. Sometimes such schools or institutes or universities can have very rigid beliefs about religion or culture, and they might teach these rigid beliefs to the kids who are learning there. So, how do you think that such institutes or schools or universities, these places of learning, how can they teach the kids to respect all religions and cultures?
That's a very good question, Dimple, and I think that's very important also for the schools now, because today all the kids, they are going global to show their talents, use their skills. They are working in multinational companies or multinational environment. So it is so important that from a young age they learn to accept people, they learn to appreciate people, and they learn to appreciate their cultures, their religion, their practices, or their faith. So I think schools have a great opportunity. I will definitely say there are places where, let's say, for example, if there is a city where there mostly, let's say, more population or majority is of the same culture, I can understand in those schools there might be a little difficulty in making things. Maybe they can buy books, they can read, but to show in real might be a challenge for those schools. However, in cities like, for example, Dubai, and where people from different countries are staying, children from different faiths, different religion and culture are staying, I think as a country, Dubai is doing an amazing job. And the way they're monitoring all the education bodies, and they're making sure that they are teaching kids everything about this country, about their country. So for example, here in schools they celebrate all the festivals. And what I have seen, because my kid was going to a kindergarten, and from that level, in every festival, in a very creative way, they were giving the answers of why Ramadan is celebrated, why Diwali is celebrated, what is holy. So I think here the schools are doing an amazing job, a fab job. I think the new teachers who are coming out and the new curriculums that are coming up for teachers, I think they are based on this, and this is what their core is. I think that is the reason a lot of people are shifting to IB curriculum, because they find it more, you know, multinational or multicultural. So every parent is choosing that instead of ancient or, you know, old
Traditional,
curriculums,
yeah.
traditional curriculums. So I think that is going to be the new future. So every school, I'm sure everybody is adapting, and anybody who's not, they will have to in coming time. That will become a need of it. But you're very right. That plays a great role in a child's, you can say, psychology, because
Belief
they'll he
system.
belief system, they learn there the most.
Yeah.
So we have to, every country have to be very very careful and very observant about their education system, and the people who are running the education systems or teaching the students or handling these kids, because that will decide how the future population of that country is going to be.
What you said is absolutely right for places like Dubai or any such place which has a diverse environment and there are people of multiple religions and cultures living together, respecting each other, and coming together and following things in a universal manner. But that's only where the places are so diverse. What about the places where the places which are still being dominated by a certain group of religious practices or a certain group of cultural practices, and uh, the kids who are growing there, how do you think can parents teach their kids
then to still respect religions and cultures all over the world.
Yes, definitely. That's a very critical situation for parents. That what should they do when the schools are teaching something else, and maybe the parents wants the children to come out something else. So I think they're the best way. What I believe is, first of all, either you can choose a school which is closest to your belief system, or however you want your kid to be, choose a curriculum or a school according to that. On the second hand, sometimes, let's say, if that option is not available to you, or for some reason you cannot touch those schools or cannot afford those schools, in that case, I will give you example of my childhood, what our parents have done. And I think that is what every parent should do. And the core is by not interfering what school is doing with teaching their kids. Because the moment you will start putting down the school in front of a kid, that, oh no, what they're teaching is wrong, the kid will start getting confused. So what I believe there, what should happen is, whatever a child is learning in school, let them learn. Do not interfere. Do not try to correct them, say the right or wrong. Let him learn over there. And whatever you're practicing at home, continue that practice. Let's say if there is any culture or anything that you're believing, you continue practice that, and let the kid see you do things, so you practice and preach. So let him learn from there. And automatically what happens is, they start understanding that what my school is teaching and what my parents are teaching. And there comes a point where he exactly knows what he has to do where. For I'll give you a very a very small example. For example, in India, there are some schools, let's say there are Hindus who go to Catholic schools, and let's say over there the prayers are more on a different theme. It's based on, let's say, Jesus, or yeah, on Catholic oriented, and they do that very respectfully. They are singing in the church and everything, and very passionately. Similarly, when they come home, they are maybe singing artis, or they are following something else. And I have never seen our parents interfering. Why you're doing this? You shouldn't do this. In all these things, they never told us this. So what happened is, our respect for school stayed same. We learned things over there, and we learned what our parents were teaching us. And obviously, there came a point where we had knowledge of maybe multiple things, and we could decide what I'm going to practice or what I'm going to do.
It's a beautiful way of explaining that the least you can do as a parent is respect what is being taught outside, as long as it's not toxic.
Exactly.
And just by showing that respect, you are letting your kid expand their horizon. You couldn't teach your child Catholic prayers, for example, because you practice Hindu religion at home, but just because you're respecting the Catholic school teaching its ways, now your child knows how do Hindus practice or respect their things, and how do Catholic people practice and respect their things. So, simply by respecting the other practices, you can teach so much to your kids, right?
Exactly. I'll just tell you an example. Just now, my sister in law, now she's a Muslim. Obviously, her kids are going to great schools. And over there, they were, I think, doing prayers, which were like, I think, I'm forgetting exactly what prayer was that, but I think Ganesh Vandana, or something like, Humko mang ki shakti dena, tameva mata cha pita tameva. And one day I was at home, and she was teaching her kid, and her kid was so fluently singing Ganesh Vandana and Tameva Mata Chapita Tameva. And I was like, wow, I was surprised. He was reciting it better than me. So I love this, that how people are respecting what is taught in the schools. This is exactly the way how we can teach our kids that you cannot come to conclusions what's right and wrong unless you learn about things. There's no right and wrong, especially when it comes to religion. It's just the different ways, and you have to see what way is the healthiest for you, or the easiest for you,
What resonates with you?
resonates with you, exactly, or the goal of your life.
Well, for many people, it's still a far fetched dream to get out of their own rigid belief systems about culture or religion. And even if they try, sometimes they find it next to impossible to move ahead, leaving those rigid belief systems behind. So, just to motivate some people, would you please explain what impact would it have if parents can successfully teach their kids to respect all religions and culture?
Wow, that's a visionary question, and I will, the best answer is it will stop wars. So that's in just one line. But then, yes, because see, these kids, you don't know what your kid is going to become tomorrow. Tomorrow, he can be a political leader, he can be a doctor, engineer, astronaut, he can be a
A
businessman,
celebrity, a
a celebrity.
spokesperson.
It can be anything. So there are two ways. First of all, let's say he goes to a profile where he has to deal with people with different religions and cultures. It will become easier for him. It will be less difficult for him to understand everybody, and which will help him grow in his career, whatever he's doing. On the second hand, when he's giving back to the society, he will think in that way. He will understand everybody, he will try to do for everyone, because I am sure, and this will make the world a better place. Because the moment we start respecting each other, each other's culture, each other's religion, so if you will see all around us, the maximum violence, wars, uh, and everything that is happening, issues, a lot of them, I think 60% is somewhere based on these things. And ultimately there are people handling these issues, and those people, let's say, imagine it's your kid sitting over there, standing over there in that position, who has to take that decision. And if he takes the decision on the basis of what you have taught or what you have turned him to, I think this will be absolutely a decision which will benefit not just one country, but it can benefit all the countries.
The world can have hope for peace.
Absolutely, the world can have peace, the world can have happiness back. People will be less scared and more secured.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Rupa. In such a short and simple way, you have explained such deep and sensitive topics, which are really close to almost everybody's heart. Uh, and you've articulated it so beautifully, so simply, and I hope some parents can get out of some doubts that they may be having. Sometimes people want to do the right stuff, but
Exactly.
something is holding them back. So I
Ye-
hope what you shared today is
Absolutely, Dimple. And I think before I end, I will just like to say that for all parents, no matter what method are they using, I think they should more stick to what they're comfortable at. Lot of times it does happen. Let's say as a parent, I have got a different kind of teaching and I've turned out to be a different person. My faith, belief, everything is different. I'm sure everybody wants to change their belief system for their children, but then uh, I think if that is your comfort zone, if you think by that way you can teach your kid and make him a better person, I think whatever you will believe will happen. So you should continue, should not stress yourself and try to cope up with something you're not. Rather than be what you are, teach your kid whatever you can. Anyways, you teach whatever the child is ultimately tomorrow going to do,
what
what he
he or she
what he
wants.
destined to. So if he's destined to do something, because I also believe in that we all are destined to do something, we all have
Our
everything
own fate,
written.
yes.
So I think everything will happen for good. Like we say, like whatever has happened good, whatever is happening is good, and whatever will happen will also be good. So
Beautiful.
thank you.
That's a wrap for today. You have been listening to Our Quest. This is Dimple Mehta signing out. If you haven't already, please give us a quick review and rating on Apple Podcast. And don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, links in description. See you next week, same time, same place.